Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first solo episode of the Being Whole podcast. So, why am I here? Let's start with that. I am here for this solo episode just to check in and tell you a little bit more about the podcast and kind of how I think it's going and a little bit more about my vision. But I also wanted to talk about just showing up on the podcast and what that really looks like for me. So one of the things that my podcast manager has said every week is, hey, Cassandra, are you going to do a solo episode? Hey, Cassandra, your listeners really want to know more about you. Hey, Cassandra, the people who watch you really want to know more about you, or they want to know more about your work. Will you do some solo episodes? And every week I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll think about that. And sometimes I just flat out tell her no. But every week she keeps asking and telling me how important it is. So I'm here today to do that, even though it's somewhat uncomfortable to me. Now, when I say it's uncomfortable, I'm not doing anything against my will or something that really makes me terrified or anxious. But this is out of my comfort zone. I don't necessarily like the sound of my own voice. And even though I seem really extroverted and like I like a lot of attention, that's kind of my work persona. I know how to turn it on and be all sparkly and be extroverted and get people's energy and attention excited and be a motivator. But in terms of my friendships, I really just prefer one-on-one conversations or small groups where we have in-depth talks. I don't like a lot of like big, showy excitement, attention on me all the time. So when I think about starting a podcast and when I think about having these solo episodes, it doesn't feel comfortable to me to welcome kind of those eyes and welcome that attention. So why on earth would I open myself up to that then if I know it's not something that I feel necessarily, is my go-to or that I am, excited about as a person to like showcase myself constantly? Why would I do this? Why would I have solo episodes? At first I was like, you know what? I wouldn't. I absolutely wouldn't. I don't need to do that. But now as the weeks have gone on, I can absolutely understand why I need to start showing up here as an individual and why I need to do all the things that you're asking me to do and that my podcast manager is telling me to do. I need to keep showing you who I am. I need to keep showing you what I do when I talk about my students and when I talk about my clients and the speeches I'm giving, when I talk about the things that I'm reading or working through, because all of who I am is what this podcast is about. So the reason that this podcast exists, and I hope that you can kind of see what I'm doing so far, is that I want to create a collection of stories. I want people from all walks of life, different experiences, different backgrounds to come and share with me the stories and the things that have helped them manage their life, be it professionally or personally. I want anyone who listens to my podcast to be able to scroll through the guest list and find somebody who maybe relates to them. So when you look at the people I've had on, there's a lot of variation. When you even listen to the shows, I don't ask a lot of specific questions. I'm just trying to have conversations with people. And a lot of the people I've known so far are just my really great friends. And that's where I'm starting and inviting more and more people in. And the reason I'm doing this again is, to me, it is all about the ways that we cope and manage. Each of us is handling some sort of stressor. Each of us is healing from something. And sometimes we're just doing the best that we can to get by every single day. So how awesome would it be if then we just all had more and more tips and tools and tricks and ideas for how we can manage the everyday? Okay, because I firmly believe that we are getting by the best we can with the tools that we have. And then not only just having those tools, we have to understand how to use them. So through talking about things like self-awareness and identity, and through bringing voice to people's experiences and talking about their emotions, I hope to also showcase that it's not just enough to tell you to go for a walk or to journal, but we need to understand why we do that and how it helps us move through things. And I really want you to think about all of your experiences and find ways that you can heal more deeply in a way that's comfortable to you. So again, I'm going to try to continue to show up on a more consistent basis in these individual episodes. And I didn't have to say that. I could have just come on here and started doing individual episodes. But here's what I want is I want continued growth for myself, just like I want continued growth for you. And sometimes that growth does mean pushing through a space that's a little bit uncomfortable because maybe, just maybe, I'm a little bit afraid of what people think of me. And that's why maybe I don't want to do the solo episodes. So I'm going to sit here right now today and tell you that if that is my fear, I'm going to work through it. And if it's not my fear, I'm going to work through whatever it is, but I'm going to keep working to show up for you because I want you to show up for me. I want you to show up and heal and work through whatever it is going on with you, because I know on the other side of that, we get to have an awesome emotional space where we can create authentic joy. So that's my goal. That's my hope. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much.